So we launched this brand new Sixers channel about a month ago here at Chat Sports, and already nearly 1,500 subscribers. So if you want more videos like this one, where we're exploring and diving into the latest Ben Simmons trade rumors, hit that subscribe button down below and smash that John. We're bringing you the latest Sixers news and rumors, breaking news, 76ers mailbags, where we answer your questions, grow the squad, and subscribe now. You're watching our brand new Sixers News and Rumors channel here on Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Give me a follow and hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. Coming up on today's show, the latest on the Ben Simmons trade front, because according to reports, he was the topic of conversation during the NBA Summer League. This reporting coming from Jake Fischer had a lot of very fascinating quotes in his most recent article on Bleacher Report that we'll look at, and I'll also insert some of my thoughts and opinions after we do break down those quotes, because I think the verbiage in them is certainly telling. According to Fischer, Simmons was the main talking point and has been the main talking point among NBA executives at NBA Summer League. And what's interesting here is that we all thought a Ben Simmons trade was going to happen right after the season, once trades were made eligible, because of how the Sixers flamed out in the playoffs and how Ben Simmons just put forward a disastrous performance. But according to NBA people within the league, a Ben Simmons trade isn't expected to happen until maybe the start of training camp, and it came out from Kendrick Perkins that Simmons wasn't going to report to Sixers training camp until he was traded. That is something certainly we have to monitor. Here's what could change everything, though. A Damian Lillard trade request or a trade demand, because the Sixers view Simmons as their pathway to Damian Lillard, but Lillard has not requested a trade just yet. The team's in on Simmons, according to Jake Fischer of Bleacher Report. The Timberwolves, the Warriors, the Spurs, and the Kings. All of these different organizations have different packages that they could offer Philly back for Ben Simmons that include both player capital as well as draft capital. Here's why a trade hasn't just happened yet. Because the asking price from Daryl Morey remains incredibly high for Simmons, and it's understandable to see why. He's a valuable asset who still has a lot of value on the trade market because of all of the things that he does at an elite level on the basketball court. Guarding positions 1 through 5, special vision and size, especially in the open floor, and it's my belief that Simmons is really a corner 3 away, just at a competent level, from being a very special player. So Morey has set the asking price high. He wants about a James Harden-like package back for Ben Simmons. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think they can get a combination of draft assets as well as another all-star back for Simmons. The big question, when is it going to happen? Fischer on the Sixers and this Simmons situation right now. For the Sixers and President Daryl Morey to move Simmons, it will be with an eye toward maximizing the prime of Joel Embiid, who signed a $196 million contract extension for 4 years on Monday night, which we talked about here on the channel. That's why you subscribe. Fischer continued by saying this: therefore, trading Simmons now for anything short of a haul that could immediately be flipped for Lillard in the event he does request a trade would be a devastating blow for Philadelphia's front office and their efforts to pair Embiid with a bona fide superstar. We're going to continue to monitor the Damian Lillard trade front. I've said here on the channel that Lillard and Embiid as a 1-2 punch could be incredibly special and dynamic and put the Sixers in a different stratosphere among the best teams in the NBA. Damian Lillard may not have requested a trade just yet, but I think he could request a trade if this 2021-2022 season gets off to a rocky start. The Blazers basically did nothing in free agency that makes them a better team than they were last year when they went out in the first round of the playoffs. And the frustration from Dame and his camp has been this. He's been there since 2012. The deepest they've made it into the playoffs is a Western Conference Finals trip back in 2019, but they've gone out in the first round 4 of the last 5 years. So I think Dame, because he's always been loyal to Portland, which I really respect about him, is going to see how the Blazers fare to start the season with a new head coach in Chauncey Billups. But if it gets off to a disastrous start, wouldn't surprise me one bit if Dame, around the NBA trade deadline, does request a trade, which would then change everything in this Simmons for Lillard trade discussion. Fischer, more so reporting on the Sixers. There's certainly a possibility Lillard arrives at training camp, looks around Portland's locker room, and determines the Trailblazers roster has not been upgraded to his satisfaction. Yet there's a stronger belief in league circles that Lillard will at least venture into the regular season under new head coach Chauncey Billups, allowing him to revisit moving elsewhere before the trade deadline, which goes along with my belief of what's going to happen with Dame and his situation in Portland. I think it's become more and more obvious, more and more clear that Dame is the Sixers' number one target in a trade that would include Ben Simmons. And for the Sixers, look, I know that the relationship looks to be tarnished between Simmons and this organization, Embiid, Doc Rivers calling him out, rightfully so, after that playoff shortcoming in Game 7 and throughout that entire series. Everybody is just so fed up with Simmons because we've been waiting for him to fulfill his potential because he has extraordinarily special ability. But don't be in a rush to trade Ben. There is no rush because right now the market's somewhat slow. Daryl Morey has set the asking price. Let's let things move forward and make sure that you get the right deal that's best in return, in terms of a return for Simmons, but also you just signed Embiid to that monster contract extension. You want to make sure that the players you get back in a trade that includes Ben Simmons are all-star caliber players that keep you in the championship contention window right now. So Philly, stand up, sound off in the comment section right now. If you're new to us here at Chat Sports, we love audience interaction and we love getting your thoughts on some of these topics that we talk about. Where will Ben Simmons get traded? Get the team name in the comment section down below and be sure to get those votes in. We kind of saw a similar situation about what's going on with Ben Simmons with Anthony Davis because Simmons not happy in Philly. AD wasn't happy in New Orleans. And it got to a point where it became so contentious between AD and the Pelicans that he requested a trade, simply refused to play at times, held himself out of the lineup until Rich Paul, Clutch Sports, and AD were able to exert their power to get him traded from the Pelicans to the Lakers. With Ben Simmons, he doesn't have as much star power as a guy like Anthony Davis, and I don't even think it's close. I think AD, when healthy, is a top 5 player in the league. Ben Simmons not even close, but he does have star power. He does have sway. Rich Paul, like AD, is his agent with Clutch Sports, and I think Clutch Sports has enough power in the league where they can direct where Ben Simmons might go to. And also, if Simmons is just so fed up with everything going on in Philly right now, he doesn't feel a level of trust between him and the organization, and he thinks that that relationship is far too gone to repair, then maybe he does not report the training camp, just like Kendrick Perkins had said back a couple weeks ago. Will Ben Simmons get traded before the season? That's really the big question for the Sixers organization, but also everybody across the NBA. Get your votes in. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let us know what you're thinking on that front.